welcome everyone. This is Seth from SethChannel, and let's just log into the game. There we are. Yeah, Sayori. Okay. So today will be well, right now. So welcome back to those who were in my previous stream. So yeah, I was playing Apex a while ago. Just if you guys were curious. Yeah, you can just check the archive. It's there. I'm gonna re-upload it also on my YouTube to archive it. So it's all good. So currently, what we've done is we've already read these two side stories here, from trust to understanding. But we're going to read the respect. I mean, sorry. Before we read respect, we're going to finish up the true ending for the main game, the DDLC plus. We've already finished like a normal run through of it, so we're going to skip the ones we've already read. This game is not suitable for children, of course. Doki Doki. This one is Sayori. Do we need to say I love you to Sayori? I don't know. Should we? Okay, let's just go with it. Since we'll unlock this one. Yeah, I think we need to at least unlock this one. Yeah, that's skippable. And then we save. Then we save right here. And then we load game. This one? Yeah, here we are. The school day, yep, here it is. Let's skip this until we get to the next one. Will be, wait, let me open the guide that we got from the end of the game. You know, I'll just open a website. I can't find it. One more guide. It's all online. So there's someone who, we're going to go for Natsuki this time. We already got Sayori. We're gonna go for Natsuki next. Here it is. So we just skip until we get to the part. Then we'll end it with Yuri. That's how we go. It's time to write a poem. Thank you. Then we'll save it here. This is the Natsuki. We want Natsuki, so for Natsuki, let's see, are bubbles a thing? Wait, let me just open my chat on my second screen as well. I apparently don't have it open. Of course, my phone rings. There we are. Yeah, bubbles is a word. How about heart? Heartbeat is. Hurt? Nope. How about fear? No, I don't see it. Bunny? Yeah, bunny. Oh wait, let's slow that again. I was not sure. Sticky. Yes. How about Valentine? Yes. Natsuki's a Valentine's nerd. Meager. Nope. Sugar? I mean, she makes the cupcakes. Bunny, yes. What grief? No. Ocean. Nope, it's not in her thing. Not disaster, not despise. How about raindrops? Nope. Loud? Nope. Climax? Nope. Yeah, that's like a story thing. So this one's probably Yuri. How about determination? No. Shame. Oh, it's not there. Cheeks? Cheeks. Yeah, there you go. Vacation. Oh, it's not a Natsuki word. Kawaii. That's her. Natsuki. Ears. No. Fester. That's a very advanced word that most probably belongs to Yuri. How about time? No, her letter T word is twirl. But no, it's also not fickle. She likes fluffy though. Uncomfortable. Nope. Also, no, this one's Sayori. How about nibble? Okay, that's Natsuki. Forgive, no. Play? No, playground is her word, but not play. Oh, pure. Is she pure? Yes. Waterfall? Yes. Oh. I think this is a Sayori word. Yeah, it is. Marriage? No, I think that's also Sayori word. What, jumpy? Yeah, that's her. Disoriented? No. Her D word is Doki Doki. Doki Doki. Silly. Is that her word? No, it's not. Judgment. A very serious crime drama game. Extreme. Nope. But dark is not also her word. Unrestrained. How about unrestrained? She doesn't have a letter U word, I think. Yeah, she doesn't. How about pink? Yeah, her hair is pink. Yeah, there you go. There's somewhere, there's only one word that's hers. Then there's somewhere there's multiple. Pain. Swimsuit's not her word. Oh, pain. Skirt. No. Flee. No, she doesn't flee. Vibrant. No, her word is Valentine and vanilla. There you go, vanilla. Pavette. Nope. Dead? No. Sensation. No. Bliss. Nope. Peaceful in milk. I mean, for peaceful in milk. There's peace, but not peaceful. How about milk itself? Yeah, it is. Because she's a growing girl. She's small. Hair, yes. Oh, joy. That sounds like a Sayori word now. Yeah, that's not her word. Yeah, there we go. Doki Doki. That's her. How about Rose? Rose. I remember that game. What about Dragon? Anyway, one of the main characters was named Rose. NPCs. NPC main character. Oh, flower. Nope. Lipstick. Yeah, that's her word. Horror is not her thing. How about shopping? That's not, yeah, that's her thing. Contamination. No. Melancholy sounds like a Yuri word, so we're gonna skip over to heartbeat. Nope, that's not in her list. But socks. Yeah, that's hers. She's wearing socks tonight. Love. How about love? Nope. Lucky? No. Analysis? No, that's I think it's a Yuri word. No, or a Yuri word. Landscape. How about holiday? I think no, holiday's not it. Parfait. That's obviously no. That's not. Yeah, that's her word. She likes sweet stuff. There you go. Perfect Natsuki poem. We did it, boys. Hi again, Seth. Yeah. We just skip the ones you've already seen. We keep on skippy. I approach her. Yeah, we've seen this part. We've seen this first part. We were able to see this in our first run. Because I just went with whatever in my first run. Yeah, she was cute here. And then this also breaks in the Act 2. Who should I show my poem to first? Natsuki, of course. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Yeah, of course you can skip this. Eagles can fly. Yeah, I got that. Let me show it to Monica. Hole in the wall, yep. We shot Sayori. And we're gonna go full Natsuki here. Dear sunshine, I want breakfast. I want breakfast. Yuri. Eh. Ghost under the light, yep. Woo. Yep. Going to, Yuri, you're really talented. Well, but Natsuki has a point. I think that I rack my brain in an attempt to back myself up. I think that conveying feelings with a few words can be just as impressive as well. It lets the reader's imagination take over. And Natsuki's poem did a really good job at that. Yeah, it did, didn't it? Haha. Shows how much you know. That's not... Natsuki, I think that's enough. Huh? Me? But she was so mean to me. Natsuki's voice whines. Look, what we talked about yesterday was right. Writing is a really personal thing. And sharing it can definitely be hard. It looks like we learned that today. Even small criticism can lead to something pretty heated. I glance over my shoulder. Sayori is nodding vigorously. Yeah, so you don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki. Natsuki's voice gets caught in surprise. Thanks for noticing. She finally mutters that, barely audible. Yuri? Yuri looks at me dejectedly. With a face like that, I can't help but feel bad for her as well. I'm sure that Natsuki didn't mean everything she said, so you don't need to feel threatened either. Well, you say so. Hey! It's not like you need to apologize for me, Seth. Sheesh. Natsuki takes a breath. The thing about... Natsuki glances around the room. Will everyone stop staring at me? Unsurprisingly, Natsuki has a harder time with it than she boasted. Sayori and Monica look away. Anyway, the thing about your boobs, I didn't mean it, okay? That's all. Natsuki looks away, avoiding eye contact with anyone. Yeah, you're really beautiful, Yuri. Sayori? I'll go make some tea. I was just trying to help. I'm sure she appreciated it, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. Well, now that we're past that, everyone's read each other's poems, right? I hope that it was worthwhile for everyone. Especially you, Seth. And to be honest, it's a nice change of pace from the lazing around we got a little too used to. Oh yeah, the side stories. Ha ha ha. So my joining the club was responsible for ruining the atmosphere. Yeah. No, not at all. Not at all. There's still time before we go home. So we'll all relax for a bit. Of course, besides chatting, we do literature-related things in the club room. So maybe you can take the chance to pick up a book or do some writing. After all, that's what the club is for. Excuse me. I disagree, Monica. About what? That's not the most important thing about the literature club. The most important thing is having fun. Of course. Well, I guess that's why you're the vice president, Sayori. In the end, though, Monica's right. Being in the literature club probably means I can't spend all my time doing nothing. But in the end, I guess it's been worth it so far. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Seth, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. Wait, can we skip this? Yeah, we can skip this. Excuse me. Yeah, she didn't talk about Yuri there yet. Okay, this is the next poem. We just save here. Do, 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 do. She's not intellectual, that's for sure. Nice. Oh, The Promise. No, that's not her thing. Vanilla, yes. From what I know, yeah, Vanilla is her thing. Scars, no. Beauty, I think Scars is Yuri. How about Beauty? Is that also, no, yeah, that's, I think, a Yuri thing. Memories, no. This one I think is Sayori. How about Dazzle? No, her D word is Doki Doki. Pout? Yes. Pink for hair. Not Suicide. That's not her word. Her D word is not dark. It's Doki Doki. She also doesn't like fireflies. How about Captive? Yep. Yes, Summon Cat. I have to say it in a girly tone, you know. To set the atmosphere. I have to, you know, read their lines in the girly tone. I have to be in character, Summon Cat. How about fireflies? Nope. How about Rose? That's not her word too. What is love? No, that's not her. How about music? No, hers is melody. Extreme? No. Amazing? No. Horror? No. Captive? No. Fireflies? No. Well, let's go back. Not dark. How about love? Yeah, no, not love. That's not in her thing. How about music? Music is Yuri, I think. Oh no, that's Sayori. Wait, this is no one's word. Oh wait, this is Yuri's word, yeah. Yep. Thank you, thank you. Yep, nice humming. This one, thank you, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. It's while I'm looking through the cheat sheet that, you know, we get from clearing the game once. I'm actually just looking it up through a website. It's got better what do you call it? Formatting. Rose. Extreme, nope. Fireflies, nope. What? None of these are her words. Wait, let's load game. Huh. How about boop? Yeah, that's her word. Summer's not her word. Neither is infinite. What? I'm sorry, someone can't. Oh, unrequited. Oh, no, that's not her thing. Cage. Hair. Oh, there we go. She cares about her hair. How about clouds? Yeah, clouds. Sunny? I think sunny. No, it's not. It's not. She likes summer, but not sunny? It's kind of weird. Agonizing? No. Hers is anger or anime. That's her A words. How about marshmallow? That can be placed in a cupcake. Yeah, that's there. Sweet, yeah, I think sweet because she likes cupcakes, but no. Kawaii is for sure. She also likes manga and anime. Hello, welcome Raisin. Welcome to my stream. I really like it, man. Thank you so much. You flatter me. You flatter me very much. Thank you. Sunset. I'm trying to get through. Yeah, welcome. So currently, I'm trying to finish the Natsuki route. Then after, we're gonna go through the Yuriatsu, and then we just finish it so that we can get the true ending. Waterfall, yeah, waterfall is her word. Unending, how about fun? That's not there. It's not in our cheat sheet part. Lucky. Rose, nope. How about lazy, no? She doesn't have a letter U word, so unending is not it. How about flying? It's not there. Fantasy and fluffy is her thing. Is she tenacious? No, that's not her too. Lucky? You know what? I'm gonna control F. Rose. This one's under Sayori, of course. How about shopping? I think this one's Sayori as well. Yeah, I knew it. No, wait. Shopping is Natsuki. There we go. We got a word. Bunny, for sure. I know that one. Bouncy? I think it was bouncy. Yep. It was bouncy. Just imagine your mom came and see her playing the Chillers game. It's legend. It's sort of like, they wouldn't care, I think. Bouncy here. Anime. She likes the pink because her hair's pink. How about bubbles? Yeah, bubbles. How about jumpy? Is that her word? I have a feeling it's her word. No, it's not. Oh wait, it is. It is. I'm starting to understand Natsuki. Skipping. Yeah, that's her word. I knew it. That's so Natsuki. Rainbow. No, it's only ribbon. Well, you know, it's sort of ingrained in the, you know, for the really old peoples of the world, like the really old that, you know, as long as it's animated, it's for kids, but have them watch My Little Pony maybe around season 3, they'd understand it's not just for kids. It gets lit. It becomes lit. Yeah. My Little Pony becomes lit somewhere around, I think season 2 even, by season 2. Season 1 was still okay, and then season 2 was like, oh, it's getting interesting. Then season 3, boom. It's like an amazing Disney movie per episode. Nibble, yeah, nibble is her word here. How about fireworks? That feels like a Natsuki thing, no? How about chocolate? Yeah, because she likes sweets. She makes cupcakes. Raindrops? No. She won't like nature. I don't see that in Natsuki. How about charm? No. Electricity? No. Oh, she likes email, but not electricity. Oh, heartbeat. There you go. Because Doki Doki is technically Japanese for, you know, the heartbeat thing. Oh, Tokyo Revenger for anime. Yeah, for me too. It's like around somewhere in the middle. It just, yeah, there we go. But when it reaches season 2, it just stops getting interesting. I understand. And then, oh, candy. I didn't click candy. How about hop? I think that's her thing. Yeah, hop. Another perfect Natsuki poem. Oh, Tokyo Ghoul. Well, for me, it was okay all throughout. No, Tokyo Ghoul was fine. But yeah, Tokyo Revengers for me is the one that kind of like, I've seen this before. Or, you know, I kind of have a feeling how it will end. Maybe it's because I've watched Steins Gate. It's spoiled time travel stuff for me. Another day passes. Like, let's skip the stuff we've gone through already in our previous playthrough. We'll go straight to the new stuff that we unlock by picking these specific choices. Here we go. Let me just drink some water. I'm gonna start talking in their voice again. It's not long before Natsuki comes up to me expectantly. Yeah. Don't worry, I kept my promise. I pulled the first volume of Parfait Girls out from my bag. Natsuki takes it from my hands, then quickly turns it over, presumably to check for wrinkles. Wait, this time we actually returned the book, the one we borrowed from her. Oh yeah, that's the thing for anime. Expect that some stuff will be shortened due to constraints, budget constraints. It's a thing. Don't worry about that, someone guys. It's normal. You get used to it. Hey, I'm not that careless. I handle manga all the time, you know. I just wanted to make sure. Can you blame me for being paranoid? I don't give people my manga every day, you know. That's true. I don't blame you. Well, anyway, let me put this one back. I'm gonna get the next one, okay? Natsuki makes her way to the closet. I follow. So, you're gonna tell me everything you thought, right? Where did this volume leave off again? Forget. Mochi mochi. The chapter ended when Minori and Alice found... Monica! Natsuki's voice resonates out from inside the closet. Eh? I peer inside. All of Natsuki's books are lined up on the top shelf. Monica. Just Monica. No, I said Monica. I didn't say Micah. Did you move my manga again? Sorry. The teacher got mad at me for taking up so much space in her closet, so I had to move stuff around and clean it up a little bit. It's all still there. I just had to organize it a bit. Top shelf is far above Natsuki's head. Monica's sus here because she placed Natsuki's books at the topmost shelf when she knows Natsuki's short. That's like, yeah, Monica's trolling her. She makes a futile hop, trying to figure out how to reach her manga. Jeez, this is so inconvenient. I'm moving these all back down. There's plenty of room on these shelves, and besides, they're really pretty to look at when they're all lined up. I get her. Why would you waste that on the top shelf? Natsuki, there's a stool on the wall there. In the closet, there's a collapsible stool that's hanging on the wall. If you want, I can reach up there and hand them to you. I can get them myself. Natsuki grabs the stool from the wall and unfolds it. Think I'm too short or something? I mean, I knew it. Well, you know what? Just watch me. Natsuki hops onto the stool, which ends up being a little wobbly because of its collapsible design. Careful. I know what I'm doing. Standing on the stool, Natsuki's fingers reach the top shelf. The stool will be enough for me to easily grab the books, but Natsuki's being stubborn as usual. We're gonna get a CG when she falls. Believe that. Natsuki uses her fingers to scoot one of the smaller boxes on the edge of the shelf. See? Yeah. The box suddenly tips. Natsuki barely catches it before it falls to the floor. Stool wobbles, this is it. Losing balance, Natsuki hops off the stool. I'm laughing. Thankfully, she was able to stay on her feet. Okay, it's not gonna go to the fan service route, sadly. This game's not R18-ish. I mean, technically, I don't know. Technically, it is. It has those scenes later on. She holds the box triumphantly. There! Having almost fell, Natsuki is a bit shaken up. Oh, that one, I finished that one, Summon Cat. If you want to see the archives, they're all on the YouTube channel, or if they're not available here on Twitch anymore. Jeez. No need to prove yourself to me. There's no way you'll be able to get the bigger boxes like that. I can reach them, so just... I said I can do it. I don't want your help, okay? I'm gonna get a chair, so just hang on. Natsuki forces her way past me out of the closet. No, wait, I do, but I haven't set one up for SethChannel yet. Maybe I will soon. Let's see. The classroom chairs have the desks attached, so they're too inconvenient to fit into the closet. Aha! Natsuki trots over to the teacher's desk, which has a computer behind it. She rolls it on its wheels back over to the closet. It's a little dangerous since the chair swivels and rolls. But I've already learned my lesson, so I keep my mouth shut. Natsuki climbs into the chair and slowly balances onto her feet. Since she refuses my help, I take a seat with my back against the side of the doorway and simply watch. Aha! There we go. See, I can easily do it now. Here we go, the new CG. It's as expected. The CG. Yes, not fan servicey, but she looks cute, so I think it all balances out. Natsuki grabs a stack of manga and bends down to put it on the shelf below. Oh, what? The chair swivels. Natsuki catches herself on the shelf. What are you doing? Can you at least hold the chair steady instead of sitting and doing nothing? Who was it who told me not to help? Hey, I'm not... No, wait. I'm thinking. Okay, maybe that might apply to me. I'm sorry, okay? If you guys... yeah, anyway. If you've seen... you might have seen me in some chats of other VTubers on YouTube. I can't deny the simp. Yeah, I got you. I hold the chair while Natsuki reaches back up. I can almost see up her skirt. I force myself to turn away. Don't! Natsuki seriously didn't think this through. No, she thought it through. She thought it through. Look at that face. Look at that face. That's someone who thought about this and planned it all out. Once she realizes I'll be that. No, she's realized it since the beginning. She knows. She planned it out. Believe it. Natsuki wraps her arms around the Parfait Girls box set, easily the largest one on the shelf. Heavy. Hey, Seth. I don't mind. I don't think I can bend down without falling. Hurry and take this one. Eh? But then I have to let go of the chair. Well, that's fine. Just for a second. Hurry up. Excuse me. Drink some water. Man, I think I should have taken like a few more minutes of rest after the Apex stream a while ago. Yeah. Natsuki here has planned it all out. Look, she reads manga, right? So she knows those situations. This girl here, this pink-haired girl, she thought it all up. It's all part of her plan. We can see up her skirt and whatnot. It's all part of her plan. Let me just stand up. I slowly release my grip from the chair. What do you mean, stand up? Natsuki looks down at me. Why are you all the way back? Eh? Natsuki looks like she just realized something, but she'll lose her balance if she moves. No, it's all good. Sometimes I do wonder someone can't. Natsuki, the box. What are you looking at? Huh? You're trying to look at my... Natsuki's legs shake. I'm not. I was just... Natsuki, don't try to move. Just give me the box. You... Hentai da! You set me up! Go away! Get out! But... I'll do it myself. The chair suddenly swivels beneath Natsuki's feet. Alright, see ya, Summon Cat. Thanks for visiting. Good luck with your homework. Have a nice dinner, I think, or lunch, breakfast. Depends on the time where you're at. Yeah. The scene turns to chaos in a split second. See ya. The chair flies from under Natsuki's feet. Frantically, I try to catch her. The box topples out of her hands and the books go flying. I got you. Crash. The full force of Natsuki's body against me throws me to the ground. A whole bunch of books pelt me in the face. Natsuki tries to shield herself with her own arms as her face lands straight on my chest. Ugh. My right arm and my back seriously felt the impact. Slowly, Natsuki comes to her senses. She presses her arm straight into me to prop herself up. Natsuki seems to realize that it's not the floor that's beneath her. Kimo! A fist pounds into my chest. Natsuki then hoists herself to her feet. What were you thinking, you sicko? Everything okay over there? I heard a loud noise. Monica suddenly peers in. Monica! See what happens when you put the manga on the top shelf? Are you trying to kill your club members or something? Jeez. Sorry. Oh, and one more thing. It seems like your most recent club member is a total hentai. So I hope you're happy. I didn't. Somehow it's impossible for me to explain this whole bizarre situation to Monica. I didn't do anything, I swear. I know, don't worry. Monica says that quietly to me. Looks like I'm off the hook. Oh no! Eh? I look down. Natsuki is kneeling on the floor, holding one of the books that are scattered all over. There's a large diagonal crease along the page that she's desperately trying to smooth out. It must have landed on the page. Natsuki tries a bit more to fix the crease, but she can't get it out. Suddenly, she gives up and slams the book shut, then throws it to the floor. Instead of continuing to yell, she just lowers her head. Natsuki, are you? No! Natsuki's voice squeaks. I see tears on her face. I'll help get the crease out, okay? It's partially my fault, so... Natsuki shakes her head, still looking down. No, I don't even care that much. I'm just having a really bad day today. Natsuki sobs again. I didn't mean to take it out on you. I really didn't mean to. It's fine. Is there anything you want to talk about? Natsuki shakes her head. Just every day is so hard. I just want to come to the club and... Natsuki falls silent again. I can't press her, so I can only do what I know how to do. Alright. Well, I'll help clean this up. And I'll move the rest of your manga for you. I pick up volume 2 of Parfait Girls. We'll set this one aside. This'll help cheer you up a bit, right? We can get started on it once I'm done here. Natsuki looks up with her glossy eyes. Her lip quivers. You're really nice to me. Eh? That sounds really strange coming from Natsuki. I didn't expect it at all. Well, I'm just treating you like a friend, you know? Natsuki lowers her head and stifles another sob. I'm not sure what happened to her today, but being nice is the least I could do. The next couple of minutes are silent between us as I begin gathering the scattered books. I make sure to slip them into the box in their correct order. After a little bit, Natsuki starts helping. It isn't long before we're done, and I hoist the box onto the shelf where Natsuki wanted to put it. Then I get on the stool and quickly finish moving the rest of her books from the top shelf. Alright. That should do it. I hop off the stool. Natsuki averts her gaze. Thanks. It's nothing. Natsuki is holding the volume I set aside in her hands. Alrighty, I'm ready. Good. Even if you weren't, I'd make you anyway. You're taking responsibility for what you said. The thing about cheering me up. If you insist, milady. We sit in the same spot as last time and I open the second volume. Natsuki's mood quickly improves, laughing and pointing things out to me. She's surprisingly sharp, making note of a lot of subtle repeated jokes and background elements. In the end, I'm pretty impressed by how everything ties together in this manga. I guess Natsuki has good taste after all. After some time, Monica gets her attention as usual and it's time to share poems again. Yes, I'll be holding on to this for now. Yep. Even if you sound more enthusiastic this time. Well, I'm starting to get into it, you know. Told you. Yeah. I return to my seat and slip the book into my bag. Who should I show my Natsuki first? Natsuki reads my poem. She keeps glancing at me, then back at the poem. By now, she must have read it more than once. Huh? Is it that bad? No, it's not. It's good. It's really good, okay? There, I said it. This wasn't supposed to happen at all. Why can't you just be bad at this? My poems are supposed to impress you, not the other way around. You're trying to impress me? Obviously, you think I'd let you enjoy Yuri's writing more than mine? Give me a break. Well, in that case, what's the problem with me trying to impress you? I'll tell you, Natsuki's face freezes like she just realized something. You're trying to impress me? Natsuki vigorously scans her eyes over my poem one more time. Then the poem slips out of her hands and flutters to the floor. I have to use the bathroom. Red-faced Natsuki quickly walks out of the room. Hey Seth, did you do something to Natsuki? I just saw her rush out like that. You didn't do anything terrible, did you? No. I just told her that. My voice gets caught in my throat. There's no way I could tell Monica that I'm trying to impress Natsuki. Monica sees the poem lying on the floor and swiftly picks it up. She reads through it, her smile not fading from her face. I see. You wrote this for Natsuki, didn't you? Yeah. I mean, no, not really. In fact, didn't she like your poem a lot the other day too? I'm surprised you know her taste so well already. Are you sure you're not cheating, Seth? Cheating? What do you mean by that? Yes, I am actually. I have the cheat sheet. Never mind, I'm just kidding. I didn't understand Monica's joke at all. Anyway, how do you think Natsuki feels about you? Oh, you didn't need to answer that. It was just something for you to think about. Hey! Natsuki comes up and snatches the poem out of Monica's hands. Neither of us had noticed her re-enter the classroom. Did you read this, Monica? Of course, I liked it. You should really stop reading things that aren't for you, you know? You have a bad habit of doing that. Eh? But Seth wrote this poem, and we're supposed to share with everyone, right? Natsuki freezes. She apparently forgot that my poem is technically for everyone to read. Okay, well, I think Seth is on sharing this poem with everyone. It's not like anyone would want to read this anyway. In fact, I'm just going to hold on to this. If you insist. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Like what? Never mind. Natsuki, I'll give you the poem, but that's still not very fair to Sayori. She hasn't gotten to read it yet. So what? Well, I guess Seth is right, Natsuki. It's not fair if you don't let everyone finish reading it. Fine. Natsuki returns my poem. It's not like she's going to like it. It's not like she's going to like it, though. Anyway, read my poem now. And no, I won't let you keep it. This is my only copy. Amy likes spiders. You know what I heard about? It's a spiders one. Okay, we read this. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's is way too short. I was just warming up. I hope you didn't think that was the best I could do. No, of course not. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I doubt I have to explain it. Sometimes you can explain complicated issues with much simpler analogies, and it helps people realize how stupid they're being. Like anyone would agree, the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk. Oh wait, I think we've seen this. Yeah, we can skip it. That means okay. Here, okay, this one we can't. You know, I'm glad that you can appreciate this kind of writing. I mean, I know I was talking about that yesterday, but I've been enjoying sharing my writing with you, so consider yourself lucky, okay? Well, thanks for being honest. What's that supposed to mean? I'm always honest. Jeez. Just look forward to tomorrow, okay? Alright, I will. Who should I show my poem to next? Monica. I mean, she's read it. Hi again, Seth. That was kind of silly with Natsuki earlier, wasn't it? I'm glad the two of you have been getting along so well. That's one way of putting it. Anyway, I already read your poem, but you can go ahead and read mine now. I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Save me. Hello me. It's even more abstract. Yeah, we've seen this. We show it to Sayori next. Oh! I like this one, Seth. It has some nice feelings in it. I'm glad. Does that mean it's better than yesterday's? Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. That's not very helpful, you know? Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad, but that's why I just go by my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem. I'm not sure. Oh wait, we can skip this, right? Yeah. The bottle's poem, yeah. Still the same. I like how some stuff changed. Like, for example, there Monica didn't need to read her poem again. It was faster. Yeah, this one she doesn't show us her poem. Yeah, this is it. And then of course you pick Natsuki again. I stand up. Tate no yusha. Thoughts. I walk home with Sarah. I would walk home with Natsuki. Well, you know, let's save here. I don't know what to answer here, okay? I would walk home with Natsuki. Walking home with Natsuki, huh? Why does the thought of that make my heart pound? I mean, I think I would be afraid of what she'd do to me if I turned her down. Isn't she so cute and fun to be around? That has nothing to do with what I just said. You admitted it! Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never going to happen. Well, maybe. But I just like to think about it. It's not like before, you won't need me anymore, you know? Need you? Sayori? I can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now. Sorry. Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you. If you say so. The conversation trails off, and I'm left feeling awkward. But it was kind of her fault for trapping me with such a weird question. I can't just lie to her, but if there's something that makes her happy, I would hate to take that away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? Okay, let's just save here. Fantasy. I think hers was fluffy. Waterfall. Hey, we actually sort of. Wait, is Kitty your thing? Kitty. Yeah, Kitty. Socks. Bubbles. What was it? Was headphones her thing? No. Yeah, headphones. What was it? Poof? Was it Poof? Yeah, it's Poof. How about... Was it Awesome or Amazing? Angry and Anime is her thing. What is the thing here? Is that question? No. Fear? No. Extreme. Tears. Brightening. Nope. Or rainbow. No, it's ribbon. What's smile? How about tears? There's a swirl. Let me look up where extreme is. Oh, that's Yuri. Extreme is Yuri. Yuri is extreme. Question is also Yuri. Smile is Sayori. Hot rainbow. It's all Sayori. Here it's also Sayori. How about brightening? That's also Yuri. Extreme is Yuri. Tears? No, that's Sayori as well. How about marriage? That's also Sayori. Awesome Sayori. What? There's no Natsuki words here. Brightening. What the heck? None of these are Sayori words. Seriously. I guess that's when we load game, right? Milk. Was it Papa? Oh, she didn't like her Papa, right? Oh yeah, it's Papa. How about loud? Is that her thing? No. That's not her thing. How about music? I think music. Oh, she likes melody, but not music. Not variants as well. There's just Valentine, I think, and Vanilla. Yeah, it is. How about time? No, there's just World. She likes melody, right? Not music. Clouds. Yeah, clouds. Cheer is Sayori, that's for sure. How about skirt? It's kind of anime-ish, right? No, that's not her thing. Interesting. Bed. Weird. She didn't like that one? Huh. That's weird. Ribbon. That's her R word. Bunny. No. Smart. Papa. Melody. Pout. Was it Holiday? No, here's a Sarah and Hop. What kiss? Twirl, right? Twirl is her thing. Nibble. Doki Doki. Waterfall. What's skipping? Does she do skipping? Yeah, she does. Headphones, right? Bunny. Milk. Sugar. Sugar is her thing, right? Yeah, sugar. Because she makes cupcakes. Playground, right? Yeah, but not play. How about empty? No. That's like a, I don't know. Feels like a Sayori word. The impression is, I'm sure, it's a Sayori word as well. Desire. That sounds like a Yuri word. Not in the Yuri, you know, the genre, but Yuri the character here. Also hard. Feather. She likes fluffy but not feather. It's kind of weird. Determination. Determination, I think it's a Yuri thing, yeah? It is. Sayori's feather. Then what's hers? Natsuki doesn't have a word in this page. What the heck? What sing? Sing? That's not it. That's a Sayori word too. This is rigged. What cage? That's a Yuri word. Okay, let's go back. No, that one can't be a perfect Natsuki. Pink. Playground. Candy. Was bouncy your thing? She liked bouncy, yeah, she liked bouncy. Yeah, poof. Bunny. Milk. Parfait. Headphones. Melody. I'm sort of doing this boop without looking at the guide anymore. I'm starting to get Natsuki here. Okay, now I'm lost. Obviously not clumsy. Not aura. Hers is anime and anger. There you go. Is it family? No. Flying? No. It's fantasy and fluffy for her. She doesn't have a letter I word. How about secretive? That's not a word of hers, obviously. Puppy? Yeah, puppy. Twirl? Shopping. Mofu mofu. Pure? Kiss. Starscape? No. That's not her thing. Infinite. She doesn't have an I word again. Gotta remember that. Rose. That's not it. She doesn't have a rose word as well. What the heck? What are her words? Breathe? No. Explode? Oh. She doesn't have another word here. For sure. What the heck? When we reach a certain part, she doesn't have a word anymore. What? We're getting dances Sayori's, of course. Summer Rose. Once Sayori's as well. Grief. Sayori. This one's a Sayori page. Crimson. Spies. Infinite. That's also Yuri word, of course, about brave. Yuri Explode. That's a Yuri. How about Starscape? That's also Yuri. Again, we gotta load game. We gotta do a perfect one. Bunny. I think swimsuit. Swimsuit is her thing, right? No. Oh yeah, yes, it is. Boop. Games. You barely see the games part. Not cheer. She does cheeks, but not cheer. Cheeks and candy, chocolate clouds. I think collar? No. Again? Another one that's not in her thing? Seriously. We're getting pages not with no Natsuki words. Let's load game. Marshmallow, of course. Sticky. Lollipop. Of course, hop. Bubbles. Sugar. Clouds. Doki Doki. Valentine. Poof. Vanilla. She like electricity, no? Or is this email? Bouncy, right? Bouncy. Kitty. Pout. Anime. Chocolate. Waterfall. Boop. Again. We have another one. Another impossible to finish one. Of course, Rose is not hers. We already know that. Sayori. I'll start from the top. Lazy. That one's Sayori. Flea. That's Yuri. Holiday is, I think, Sayori as well. Adventure is also Sayori. Rose. So it is fully randomized. There's a chance you won't even get perfect. Happiness is obviously Sayori's. Bliss. Yeah, that's also Sayori. Starscape, that's Yuri. Sparkle, yeah, that's Sayori. Uncontrollable, that's also Yuri. That's another non-Natsuki page. Let's go back. Pop. Marshmallow. Games. Fantasy. Milk. Does she like singing? No. Sticky. Chocolate. Swimsuit. Kawaii. Puppy. Papa. Was it fun? No, that's not her word. What the heck? Flower. Raindrops. That's not her thing. Her thing is ribbon. What the heck? It's another one. This still takes several load games before we're able to get it. Okay, let me turn my air conditioner. It's getting hotter again. Cheeks. What's it? Color. Bouncy. Waterfall. Is it uncanny? Uncanny's not her thing. Her thing is puppy. Socks. Playground. Marshmallow. Parfait. Nibble. Was it giggle? Sunset. No, hers is summer. Sugar. Kawaii. Pink. Clouds. Hair. Yeah, hair is apparently hers. Playground, no. Comfort, no. Pickle, no. Peaceful, I know is Sayori. Hers is peace. How about just sweet? No, that's Sayori for sure. Email. Kiss. Milk. Bubbles. Bubbles. Twirl. Finally, a perfect Natsuki. We gotta save. Gotta save this one. Oh man. Okay, Monica. I'm the last one here again, okay? We skip what we can skip. Who should I show my poem to first? Natsuki, of course. Let's see, let's see. You're certainly enthusiastic today. Of course. You know I like your writing. I'm just surprised. It seemed like you had a lot of trouble admitting that before. Well, of course. I just had to put you in your place a little bit. It's not like I was shy or anything like that. Or jealous. I really wasn't jealous. Just because you happen to be a good writer? That's such a dumb thing to get jealous about. Natsuki. What? You're not very confident about your writing, are you? Eh? What are you talking about? My writing is obviously the best. Right? It took me a while to figure out, but I think I finally did. Maybe Natsuki acts so arrogant because she's trying to make up for her own insecurities. If she acts like she's the best, then other people might think that way too. That's kind of true, I guess. Right? Seth? Please just tell me you like my poems. I don't care if you hate them. Just please tell me I'm the best. I just really need to hear that from someone. I know I sound stupid, but there's a reason I never shared my poems before this. Natsuki. Because nobody ever takes me seriously. What's the point in sharing my poems if people just laugh and say, "That's so cute," just like you, Natsuki. Sometimes I don't want to be cute, but nobody understands that. I try really hard when I write. The style doesn't matter. The emotions are there. Why can't anyone see that? I just want... Natsuki trails off. Maybe it's because her lip started to quiver. I look down. Her fists are clenched really tightly. Yeah, they are. Look at those fists. Hey, Natsuki. If you're not careful, you'll rip your own poem. I gently grab the poem with my own hand until she relaxes her grip on it. I place it flat on the desk and smooth out the wrinkles that she put into it. Don't read it! Before I can pick it back up, Natsuki snatches the poem up from the desk. It's not any good, and I know you hate my poems. So you don't have to read this one, okay? But I want to read it. Oh, why? Because I like your poems. I really do. Why would I judge you for your style? It's not like my own style is anything crazy. I mean, it's true that the first time I read one of your poems, I didn't look much into it. But I know you better now, and it's wrong for Yuri to think your style is more amateur than hers. And Sayori, she always means well, but sometimes she's so focused on simple happiness that she doesn't understand what people really want. Yeah, I guess I never really thought about how hard it is for you. And I'm sorry if I was part of the problem. I understand now. You're not just cute, you're a lot more than that. Natsuki, you're doing it again. Once again, Natsuki clenches her poem a little too hard. She looks down, hiding her eyes from me. I never realized how difficult this was for her. But finally, she forces herself to extend her arms and set her poem on the table. You can read it. Just turn that way. And I don't want you to look at my face right now. Okay, I will. Because tomorrow will be brighter with me around. But when today is dim, I can only look down. My looking is a little more forward because you look at me. It's different. When I want to say something, I say it with a shout. But my truest feelings can never come out. My words are a little less empty because you listen to me. When something is above me, I reach for the stars. But when I feel small, I don't get very far. My standing is a little bit taller because you sit with me. I believe in myself with all of my heart. But what do I do when it's torn all apart? It rhymes. My faith is a little bit stronger because you trusted in me. My pen always puts my feelings to the test. I'm not a good writer, but my best is my best. My poems are a little bit dearer because you think of me. Because you. Why are you looking at me like that? If you don't like it, then just say it. I won't get mad. No, it's not that I don't like it. It was just a little surprising to read. I guess I'm not used to hearing such nice things coming from you. Don't just say that, dummy. What do you think the point of writing is? Expressing things that you can't just say. Yeah, I understand. I'm sorry for missing the point sometimes. I always mean well, and I'm happy that you showed this to me. I liked it. Well, yeah, I'm a pro, so... Natsuki mumbles, completely failing to sound confident like she usually does. Just remember that I can think these things sometimes too. You know, when you're nice to me, it's meaningful. I'm glad. Seeing Natsuki satisfied, I start to hand the poem back to her. But as I do so, Natsuki takes my hand and pushes them back away. And let me just fix the setting. Something's kind of weird. Okay, we good. Her small soft hands surprise me with her assertion. I don't want it. Eh? Why not? I just don't. Jeez. I realize what Natsuki is doing. Unable to be honest, she's trying to give me the poem in a roundabout way. Well, in that case, I'm going to keep it. Instead of teasing her, I choose to go along with it. Good. If you didn't, I will... never mind. I'm glad that you want it. Natsuki backpedals on her words and leaves it at that. Despite her best efforts to hide her expression, I can see her faintly smiling to herself. That's all for now, so go put it away before someone sees it, okay? Yeah, I'll go do that. With that, I return to my seat so that I can put away Natsuki's poem. Who should I show my poem to next, Monica? Hi, Seth. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform the fest? You already seen this? Sticking with the Natsuki style once more, I see. You really like Natsuki, don't you? Oh, come on, Seth. It's awfully suspicious, you know? Spending time with her in the club room every day, pretending to like the manga that she's into. You know how Natsuki is. If I don't indulge her, she'll end up hating me. Eh? No, I think you're misunderstanding, Seth. It's not like Natsuki just hates anyone who doesn't give her what she wants. Yeah, she's assertive, but she's not that selfish. In fact, I think you're the only one who's indulged her as much as you have. Is that so? I kind of knew that, but I just didn't want to admit it. So, I just need to ask one thing of you. Be careful, please. Natsuki is kind of unpredictable. A lot of the times, she doesn't even know what she wants. After all, she's the youngest one here. She might not know how to handle her own feelings properly. What I'm saying is, if something bad happens, then it could end up damaging the club too. And you wouldn't do that to me, right? I'm not sure how to respond to Monica. While I care about her and the club, it's also kind of unfair to bring that up. Well, you're smart. I'm sure you'll do the right thing. Monica smiles sweetly. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright. The lady who knows everything, yeah, you know everything, don't you? You know, I feel like learning, okay, we've seen this. Yeah, we've seen this, Monica, don't worry about it. Sure, Sayori next. It's nice, I guess. Oh, come on, I already tell you don't like it. Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Natsuki. Eh? I didn't write this for anyone specifically. Maybe. That's not really what I meant though. But it's okay. You're making new friends just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. And you're happy too, right? In this club? Well, of course I am. Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Seth. Sayori, is there something wrong? Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today. Alright, just tell me if you need anything. I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now. If you insist. Yay! I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori, tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom humming to herself. Who should I show my poem to next? Yuri. Yeah, Yuri doesn't show us anything. We need to be on her route. The other two don't show me their poems. Yeah, we're gonna go with Natsuki here, obviously. We're gonna go full Natsuki here, guys. Well, baking sounds like it could be fun. Yeah, we've seen this. She's still... I mean, sound, but that doesn't... Okay. You already seen this. That's one coming over. Alright, cool. My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of the school. More than that, she told me that she was looking forward to it. Oh. Is this a chance I have to make something happen between us? Oh, this guy. Or is it too early for that? Too early! It's just been 1 week. Only time will tell. But until then, I won't be able to take my mind off of it. I seriously can't wait! This guy, it's just been 1 week. Yeah, let's skip. We visit Sayori, the house is quiet. Sayori's fine. She's a child friend, so, you know, you just gotta do a health check. Already seen this. Okay. And then we go to Natsuki. Hello, Natsuki. Just like that, yep. Oh no! You gotta save here. This is not the Sayori route, so we can just go with "You'll always be my dearest friend." You'll always be my dearest friend. What you need most is for things to be like they've always been. Monica told me the truth. She told me how much happier you seemed after I joined the club. I know you're struggling with some really difficult feelings right now, but please trust me that I know what's best and what will make you happy in the end. I promise I'll help get things back to the way they were. I see. Sayori forces a smile through an incredibly pained expression. Is this what it feels like to get stabbed in the chest? I should write a poem about this. Sayori, it's okay. This is just my punishment, remember? For being so selfish. So please don't worry about these stupid feelings. I know you're right. I knew this whole time that there's no happiness down that path. That's why I came here. Just so I could get the answer I needed to hear. And the other thing, you're also right that I just wanted to go back to the way it was. I realize that now. You really do know me better than anyone, Seth. I'll trust you with anything. Anything at all. So... Sayori's smile finally breaks. All of a sudden, she turns around and drops to her knees. Clutching her head with both hands, she screams as loudly as she can. I'm so shocked that I don't know how to react. Sayori looks over her shoulder and flashes me one more weak smile before turning around and running off. Sayori! I'm left helplessly standing in the front of my house. Why am I feeling so horrible about this? There's nothing more that I could have done. The most I can do is support Sayori through her feelings and help her on the path that's right. but I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is, even though I can comfort her. I keep wondering if I should be doing something more or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. I'm going to give it everything I've got. Sayori will always be my dearest friend, and I'll do whatever it takes to put a smile on her face every day. It's the day of the festival. It's the day of the festival. Is there anything different? Yep. Hanging. Yeah, I knew it. Monica. Let me go back. Sam, we're gonna go the Yuri route. Yuri. Go to number 2. We're gonna go Yuri. Everyone, the new member is here. Wait, I actually want to check something out. Did we unlock anything cool? Let's check the stuff we unlocked. I knew it. More side stories. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Pictures. That's cool. What's this one? We're writing all 3 poems for her. Nice. I think the one for Sayori is here. This one. Sayori on Trust. Sayori's second poem. We didn't get to her third. Woohoo. Monica. 3. Happy end. Yes, we have unlocked this one. What else have we unlocked? Secrets. We unlocked a bunch of stuff. Hey, we got this one. Write a perfect poem for Natsuki. What's this one? Write all 3 poems for Natsuki. Okay, we're unlocking a bunch. That's good. I still don't know what the mail is all about. December 9th, 2019. Okay, let's go back. Is there like a secret here? Because there's like the mail thing. It's technically part of the game, right? Okay. Basically, we're writing all our poems for Yuri this time. Let's just skip through it until we get to the poem writing part. Alright. Yeah, we gotta write it for Yuri. Let me save. Let me get to my cheat sheet once more. Yuri. But disoriented, yeah, that's her. Disown, yeah, that's her as well. Marriage, I think this one is Sayori. Disaster, yeah, that's her as well. Horror, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's her. Destiny, that's Sayori apparently. No wait, that's her. I think she has a lot of words if you think about it. Rain cloud. Oh, hers is raindrops. Special. I think this one's Sayori too. Waterfall is Natsuki? How about vitality? Okay, that's her. For sure. Daydream is not her. Clouds? Clouds. No. This one is Natsuki. Precious. I think this one's Sayori. Yeah, it is. Isn't it? Yeah, it is. Misery. I think that's obviously her. That's very her, I think. But it's not her. It's actually Sayori. About Fickle. Yeah, that's her. Journey. Journey. Determination, is that her? Yeah, that's her. I was like, which one? Uncontrollable is her, right? Ambient? Yeah. How about laugh? No, that laugh is Sayori. How about together? No, I think it's also Sayori. Analysis, I think. Yeah, analysis. Starscape is her, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, it is. Beauty. That's not her, apparently. Cage, I think that's her. This is Yuri. Yuri's like, you know, jump. Intellectual, I think. Sadness. Not her. This is Sayori. How about electricity? Yeah, that's her. Promise. Yes. Okay, we have this one. It's sweet side, it's hers. How about memories? Memory. Good song from Cats. I don't know what the movie did with it, but yeah. Explode. Explode. Flea? Yeah, she's Flea, I knew it. Vibrant. That sounds like her. A word that she'll use. There we go, perfect, Yuri. Achievement unlocked. Hi again, Seth. Okay. We gotta give it to Yuri. The first poem. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be in the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just reading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book? One for keeping, one for sharing, duh. Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. I understand her. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison, and while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Ha ha ha. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Seth? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. Yeah, she's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange, and please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Ah, that's true. True. But that's true. My braces are messing with my mouth. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. We remember that one from the side story. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Oh, I didn't see this back then. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again. Yuri's face again, and her eyes meet. Yeah, she's looking at us. Cute, kawaii. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. Ooh. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Ho. Our man here, our dude, our bro. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she... Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like, she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything. It's getting colder again. But they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remained silent for a moment. But Seth, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Oh wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Hi. Okay, everyone. Huh? I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? Wink wink. Um, I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. So it picks up at chapter 3. Alright. I stand up, I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. Wait, we can skip here, right? It's already past that, yeah. Let's show it to Yuri first. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything, Yuri. That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Whoa, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Let me just drink some water here. I'm getting dry throat. Lots of reading stuff, huh? If anyone came in, welcome. I'm not sure if my second screen is updating correctly, but yeah, just a welcome here. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. Oh, wait, we can skip here. Yeah, this is kind of deja vu. I've seen this before. Ghost Under the Light. Yeah, we've seen this poem. Yeah. It's nothing really. What did we say? When we said that's impressive. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Seth. Me too. Then we show it to Monica. Hi, Seth, yeah. Great job, Seth. I was going to oh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. Haha, that's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know what? That Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism, unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. Yeah, there we go. We can skip this. Hole in the wall. Yeah, you've seen that. Don't worry, Monica. Don't worry. Please show it to Sayori next. Yeah. Dear Sunshine. She wants breakfast. Natsuki. Huh? Seth, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? You think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. You all start somewhere, right? If you're so proud of the first poem we ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about. Fine. Well, sorry. Here, you'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Oh, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. No, it's not. Eagles can fly, dude. Yeah. Hey, we can skip here. Nice. We can keep it skipping, because we've seen this before. Help me, Sayori. Just save here. Yuri. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait, that's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri? Eh? You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, that's... But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really important. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... the voice change. Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to... You know what? I'm going to do that. So spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki, she really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Sigh. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Seth. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I will never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to go make some tea. Ah, good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, if we got that, we can now skip again. Oh, hey, welcome to my stream. Welcome. Let's see. So we can still skip this. We've already gone through this. We're gonna go for the perfect ending here. This is the last, I think this is the last ones we have to unlock. The Yuri's stuff. Pain. No, wait, no. Wait, why did I do that? Sorry. Yuri. Let me just skip. Sorry, I should have saved first before I made the selection. I thought it was Pain, but that was Sayori. I forgot. Wait, do we get it right? Yeah. Let's save first. Let's see. Entropy. I think unrestrained. Horror. Oh wait, let me just open my cheat sheet again. It's not nibble, I'm sure. This one's used to frightening. Imagination, was it? Yeah. Was it childhood or desire? It's desire. Hopeless. I'm pretty sure it's hopeless. Let's just double check. No, it's not. That was a good thing I checked. Not pure fear, I think, is the essence. But it's not. Daydream? No, this one is Sayori. Flee, yeah, flee. I'm sure it's flee. Electricity. This one's Natsuki. How about bliss? No, hers is breath. Massacre? I think massacre is the thing. Yeah, I was right. Captive. I think it's captive as well. Just double checking. Forgive. It's not. What was it? I think. No, this one's Sayori. Anger? No. Uncanny. Grief. I'm pretty sure it's grief, right? It's not. That's Sayori apparently. Whoa. Intellectual, I'm sure. This one is Natsuki. Despise, I think, is the word. How about ambient? Ambient. Breath. Breathe. Sorry. Infallible. Empty or sadness? It's not empty. It's also not sadness. Got those wrong. It's not rain cloud. Hers is raindrops. She doesn't have sunset. Hers is starscape. Spinning? No. Wrath? Yeah. More feelings. Fester. Fester. How about lust, I think? Yeah. And then disarray. I'm pretty sure it's disarray. Yeah. Or starscape. There you go. That's the second poem. Another day passes. We can still skip here. Wow. Retribution. Now let me just skip. Let me just look something up. I just gotta be sure about something. Are we actually on the right way? Excuse me. Yep. Yep. Yeah, we're still on the path. We're not lost. I thought I made a mistake at one point, but we're not. Can still skip. Hey Yuri. Eh? I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No. I was kind of just waiting for you. If that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thank you. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention, for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. Let me just drink water here. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. Nice. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk and then we'll get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms, especially because of her long legs. Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Yeah. Where are you two off to? We're just... Yuri was going to make some tea, so I suddenly realized how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica. We're just filling the water pitcher. Okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? Monica, please mind your business for once. Or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping involve Seth in club activities? Excuse me. Eh? My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Then let's go, Seth. Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that, Yuri? Something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? Monica's trolling you. No, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Seth, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions and we can't always hide them away. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend will do that? Friend, you say? Yuri lifts her forehead. Seth, I really like being friends with you. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway, yeah. Shall we go? Yeah. Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. Seth, do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature in the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything? In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show. And you noticed, I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I will try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out, it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Seth. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Yeah, just like that. I want to sip water too. Seth, I have another request. I'll sip the water. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? What's that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because my... Your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading. Yes, I have terrible reading posture, so that's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieved the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding in a book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus, because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. Yeah, this is dangerous, guys. This is dangerous. This is uncharted territory. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. Well, not really uncharted territory per se, more like dangerous territory. Never know. Gotta be really careful and respectful at times like this. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. Yeah? Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudges on the pages. You're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Oh, look at this. The movement there. I think we've seen this before. Well, in that case, Yuri's already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if the situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. I think we've seen this in Act 2. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Eh? Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Seth? Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Well... You were just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but... Yeah, that's all it was. Smooth. Yeah, then you don't need to stop or anything. Ho. She's on the attack. I guess she's asserting it now. I see. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can tell just by her expression that even she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers. But this time, Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? She of course knows. She's not stupid. She knows what, the context, not in that context. She's smart. She knows. Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breath. Beats. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips, but it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her hot breath on my fingers. Okay, everyone. Yuri jolts back. It's time to share poems. Seth, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. I'll take care of the teacups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I got a feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Indeed, Monica got us there. Sure to Yuri, of course. Of course. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Seth, this one might even be better than yesterday's. How did you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday, I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Well, I had the cheat sheet. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine. Take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah, I'm just being appreciated like this. I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself. And besides, people will just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. We're gonna find that out in the side story. Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do. If it's with you. Nice. The raccoon. Have we seen this? I think not yet. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an ordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences. Well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was a symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity, the raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice a bread, fresh and soft, the raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions on the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement, a rush of blood. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread and I feed myself again. Oh, so we are the raccoon. I was a little more daring with this. Oh wait, we've seen this. We can skip this. We can skip this. Why do you keep them to yourself? Because they're embarrassing. And people will make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Seth? Well, yeah, I guess I do. I feel like everyone has a little something like that. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities. Even if it's difficult sometimes, and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening, there really aren't many people like you, Seth. That's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing. But now, I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that. It's nothing, really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. Nice. Who should I show my poem to next? I show it to Monica. Will she say something different? There we go. This one's good. It feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than the last one I read. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. You can't deny that she's talented. Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I noticed that too. or when she's talking about literature. It's like a light turns on inside her. Sadly, it's hard to get so much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes on in that head of hers, Sayori tried. And I hope you don't mean that in a bad way. No, of course not. I just meant that I wish she didn't keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that, you must be pretty into her. Wink wink. Eh? You completely misunderstood, Monica. Haha, calm down, I'm kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. Wait, really? Yeah, a fictional one anyway. Monica kinds of whispers that last part to me. It's just a hunch, but... well, there's not really anything wrong with that. Oh well, I know. I was just saying. But anyway, want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Oh yeah, this is Save Me. Yeah, we've seen this. Then we go to Sayori. Yep. Bottles. Yeah, we've seen this. How about Natsuki? She'll say something different, right? Well, I can admit that it's better than the last one. It's nice to see that you're putting in some effort. That's good. But I still don't like this at all. It's trying too hard to be serious. Huh? What do you mean by that? Poems don't need to be all deep sounding to express something. It's going to just sound like you're forcing it unless you really don't suck at it. Honestly, don't bother to try poems like this until you're on Yuri's level. Natsuki stops short all of a sudden. Don't tell me. Eh? You're not just trying to impress Yuri, are you? What are you talking about? And keep your voice down. Excuse me. You know Yuri will look this angsty. Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean looks like I'm in trouble. I somehow struck a nerve, though what I did is beyond me. I am so done with you. Natsuki shoves the poem I handed her back over to me. Take your stupid poem. If you wrote it for someone else, just don't show it to me. Ouch. This is what I get for letting a younger girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to impress in the first place. Excuse me. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems. Yeah, we can skip. Excuse me. I would walk home with Yuri. Walking home with Yuri, huh? Why does the thought of that make my heart pound? Let's see. I mean, given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel awful turning her down. So isn't she so beautiful and smart? That has nothing to do with what I just said. You admitted it. Jeez. There's nothing. Okay, we can skip this. Okay, next one. Suicide. What contamination? Let's open my cheat sheet again. Contamination. I think I was right. It was contamination. Contamination. Hope. Nope. Tears. Nope. Bliss. Nope. Excuse me. Clumsy? No. Flower? No. This one's Natsuki. Wait a minute. Go game. Art. Nope. Promise. Nope. Passion. Nope. Tenacious. Yeah, she's tenacious. Hopeless. No, hers is far. Together. No. Papino. Aura. Yeah, aura. Aura. Comfort. Disarray. Infinite. It sounds like her. This one is Sayori. How about excitement? That's also Sayori. Sayori. Smile. No. Secretive, I think. Electricity. Hers is raindrops, right? Not rain cloud. Raindrops. For Yuri, it's raindrops. Uncontrollable. Lust. Disaster and determination. You can go with disaster. Unending. Wrath. Raindrops. Sensation. Music. Imagination. I think meager, yeah. Meager sounds like a word Yuri will use. Fester. Cry? No. Hope. No. Unrequited. Unrequited. It seems like something she'll use. But it's not here, so I guess it's not hers. Whose is unrequited? Let me look at it. Oh, it's Sayori's. Who could have known? Misfortune for sure. No, it's not. Who is Misfortune? This is Sayori as well. What the heck? Is there even anything here that is Yuri's? None. Meager. No. Feather. Oh no. Okay, we ran out of words for Yuri here. Maybe if I load game, maybe. I know it's possible to. Yeah, it's totally random. How about silly? Silly, no. Breathe. No. Defeat, I think, or incapable. Anxiety, was it? No, this. Is it hers? Yeah, it's hers. Horror, that's for sure. Infallible, that's her for sure. Is spinning part of her thing? No, it's not. How about dazzle? No. This one is Natsuki's. Covette, there you go. What love? Not hers. Hers is lust, not love. Essence. That sounds like something she'll use. Extraordinary. It's not hers. Okay. Contamination, yeah, I'm sure about that one. Aura, yes. Was it Misfortune? No, that's not hers. This is Sayori's. What dark? No, it's not. Strawberry or giggle? Doesn't sound like her though. How about Rose? Does she even have Rose? No, hers is raindrop, or our word is raindrop. Cage. I think cage. Cage sounds to be it. Yeah. Tenacious. Yeah, she's tenacious. Heaven sent. Yeah, heaven sent, yo. Starscape. Desire. Is that hers? Yeah, it's hers. Disaster. Marriage? This seems like a Sayori one, yeah. It's a Sayori one. This one's Natsuki. Effulgent sounds like her. It's a very hard to use words. It's most probably her. Yeah. Unrequited. No, that one is Sayori's. Incongruent sounds more Yuri. And yeah, I was right with that one. How about this one? That seems like Yuri. Yeah, this one is Yuri. Misery? No, it's not. Brightening. Yep, we got that one. Analysis, I think, is hers. Yeah, there you go. Another Yuri poem. That's the third Yuri poem. We've done it. You can skip. We're gonna go for that true ending. The good ending. Why does it feel like I'm being watched? I glance around the room. Suddenly, I notice Yuri peering at me from her book. But she looks away just as quickly with a flustered look on her face. I realize that she won't get anywhere like this. I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord, so I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now, it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit on one next to her own. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax. Didn't even do anything. But I could tell that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How were you even able to tell that I was thinking that? Well, it's something that I do a lot, so it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. And not that I was staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Troubles are only the concern of those who willingly share in that concern. Whoa, deep. I like that one. It's quotable from Yuri. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you would prefer to share what's on your mind, then I will be glad to listen. It's not really that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she seems a little off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh, that's quite romantic. Eh? Sorry, I didn't mean to say something stupid. It's not that, I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have just been friends for a long time, that's all. I see. Then perhaps it is unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings. Or maybe I'm just reading into it a little too much? Seth, the world is full of meaning, often hidden deep beneath plain sight. And there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. So you think that there might be something behind it after all? I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside her head. And she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today too, and I also feel some concern for her. But in your case, it looks like she was fully occupying her thoughts, wasn't she? Well, I guess that was the case. Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess, but you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze. Sometimes, a person's mysteries are untold, even to themselves. And you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings that you weren't aware were in you. That is, I think that she will be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy. Wait, let me just drink water. Okay. I'm a pretty simple guy. So I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you. That's not a compliment, is it? It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah, I shall be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. This guy. Okay, everyone. Oh wait, we can skip. Okay. You show it to Yuri first. Seth, your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you've shown me has been nothing short of spectacular. I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little envious even. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally. Yuri, that's the wrong way to put it. This never did come naturally to me. But I've been able to improve so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing after. Is that so? Yuri gently smiles to herself. This feeling, I'm so glad I got the chance to share my writing. I never thought it would feel like this. I remember you mentioning that yesterday. I can't believe that you're so good at something and you've never even shared it with anyone. It's kind of a shame. Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice. What do you mean? Well, Yuri smiles sadly. Seth, during lunchtime I eat by myself. Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot and do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. You could say I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it anyway, but books are so full of amazing and inspiring people. People you want to fall in love with. I knew it, Monica's right. Or people you just know would make a really good friend. Cheerful people who always put a smile on your face. Or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day. You know, and those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type, and they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all. People say that about you? I'm not a know-it-all, Seth. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. Exactly, and that's how you know everything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you that I really understood what was missing all this time. But I haven't really done anything. No, that's wrong. Just being patient and respectful, that's really important to me. I know I'm a difficult person, Seth. I speak too slowly, I second guess myself all the time, I read too deeply into things, but every time, you've always treated me just like everyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I talk to others. But that's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. I see. Well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri. And if other people don't see it that way, then screw them. Yeah. Right. I mean, I joined this club hoping I would make friends. Wink. Exactly. Fingers crossed. And I would say I've had at least one success. Wouldn't you? If you put it that way, yeah. We really are friends now, aren't we? Yuri puts her head in her hands, but this time she's smiling as she does it. But do you want to show me your poem? Yeah, I do. Let me get it for you. Aha, Goes Under the Light, Part 2. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. In the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A lone figure crosses its path. A silhouette obstructing that eerie glow. My heart pounds, the silhouette grows. Closer. Closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility, but I am too late. He steps into the streetlight. I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers. My heart pounds. He raises his arm. Time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. What's this? Okay. Have you ever heard of a ghost feeling warmth before? Giving up on understanding, I laugh. Understanding is overrated. I touch his hand. The flickering stops. Ghosts are blue-green. My heart is amber. Oh, the ghost is her. The light is us, I guess. Finishing the poem, I start to hand it back to Yuri, but instead of taking it from me, she looks away. Do you dislike it? Oh no, of course not. I just don't really know how I should respond. Despite Yuri's poems usually being cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this one was about yet. It's basically a love letter. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one. That's fine. I understand this one completely. Yuri is having an even harder time speaking than usual. Does this one mean a lot to you? Yuri nods. I'm not really good with friends, but I'm happy that you shared it with me. So thank you, and I hope we keep spending time together. Despite my inability to make eye contact, I see a faint smile emerge on Yuri's lips. I once again tried to hand the poem back to her, but instead, Yuri gently takes my hands and pushes them back towards me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch. You can. The poem is... Once again, Yuri fails to form a complete sentence. You mean I can keep it? Yuri nods. I'd love to. Again, Yuri faintly smiles as if she doesn't want me to notice. You always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometimes. Yeah, don't worry. I think you do a good job. Yuri finally turns back towards me. I guess we should move on before Monica says something, but I'm sure we can talk again later. Yeah, I'm sure we will. With that, Yuri timidly smiles at me, and I return to my seat so I can put her poem away. This is it, true ending. And then we'll probably just go through one side story and then finish the rest next week. Hi, Seth. Okay, skip. Your style's gotten so refined, Seth. Yuri's been teaching a lot of things, hasn't she? Well, I guess so. Yeah, I've been noticing how much time you spend with her. I think I've heard her say more words these past couple days than she's talked in the whole year. Not sure how you did it, but that's pretty impressive. Well, she just needs some patience and a way to talk about all the things in her head, I guess. I'm still getting the hang of it myself. You're certainly putting in a lot of effort. You must really like her. That's... It's awfully suspicious, you know? Spending time with her in the club room every day, reading that edgy novel with her. Well, I just feel bad that she has a hard time socializing. It makes me want to make sure she doesn't spend all her time alone. Besides, the novel isn't too bad either, you know? Alright. I get you. Just be careful, alright? I know that Yuri isn't used to opening herself up. So if something bad happens while she's vulnerable, then it will be really hard for her. Her books aren't a total escape from reality. They're just a bandage. You say that like I'm going to hurt her. Sorry, I didn't really mean that. Well, yeah, they're friends. If anything, she might accidentally hurt herself. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Okay, you can skip here. The lady who knows everything, yeah. You know everything, huh? We know, Monica, we know. Sayori. Yeah, we can skip this one. Natsuki. He's gonna say something different. Yeah, no thanks. You didn't even... Next. She knows it's not for her. We gotta pick Yuri here in this one. Well, I'll probably be most helpful using I'll probably most useful helping out Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you? Natsuki, I can already tell you're about to say something mean. No, I was just saying. So you'll be helping Yuri then, Seth? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm glad. I have a bad habit of overthinking these sorts of things, so I think your assistance will be very useful. That's great to hear. Natsuki, will you be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah. I already said I will be fine. Okay. Everyone can tell that Natsuki is feeling a little sour. So, is that everything we needed to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited? Well, excited may not be the right word, but I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. Do you feel the same way, Seth? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki? Natsuki? What? Why is everyone yelling at me? I didn't even do anything. No, that's not what I meant at all. Yuri anxiously glances between everyone in the room. I'm sorry for this. I don't really know why Seth picked me. And also, your cupcakes are the best cupcakes I've ever had. They go really well with my tea. And nothing that I do for the event will compare to that, so... I get it. I'm kinda surprised though. Why? Well, I'm the one acting immature. I already know that. But you're trying to cheer me up all of a sudden. I know I'm not very good at it. I'm sorry if I said something bad. Natsuki isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Yuri's words. When she already has trouble with words, trying to cheer someone up must be far out of her comfort zone. But I begin to understand. Yuri was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this, because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. No, I kinda appreciated it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing, but I'm going to say this. You better bet that my cupcakes are going to be the best part of the whole event. Ha! I believe you. Yeah, I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head out. Alright, let's get out of here then. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monica and Natsuki out the door as they chat between each other. I turn around. Sorry, I realized that I don't have any way of contacting you this weekend. Oh, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Should I give you my phone number? I think that will be the best way, yes. Alrighty then. Yuri and I exchange phone numbers. Okay. Then I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday. My house? Is that a problem? No, not at all. I just thought that I would be the one going to your house since I'm the one helping you. Exactly. I suppose that makes sense. But if you don't mind, I think I would prefer going to your house. Alright. In that case, it won't be a problem. I decide not to press Yuri for a reason. It's not like it should matter much either way, so I'll just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I manage to make myself useful in some way. I'm not nearly as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself, Seth. I think that will make a very productive team. Even if you only chose me because you felt bad or something. No, we're going Yuri route. Oh, wait. You don't actually think that, do you? I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any other reason you may have chosen me. You're forgetting the one reason with the most common sense. Excuse me. I chose to help you because that's what I want to do. But Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Yuri, you're overthinking this. You wanted me to point out when you're overthinking, right? I didn't realize. I'm telling you, I want to. That's all there is to it. Do you believe me? Yuri thinks really hard again. She looks straight into my eyes for a long time. I believe you. As if it took her tremendous effort, Yuri finally says that and relaxes her expression. And I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Yeah, I am too. After that exchange, I make my way out the door and Yuri follows. And we can skip this. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. Yuri is clearly an introvert and also an intimate person in general. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we've been texting occasionally. She was extremely apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. But putting Yuri aside, I haven't heard a thing from Sayori since she left club early the other day. Okay, we can skip this. This Sayori visit. Sayori! I still like Sayori in a way. Here we are. As I approach my house, I see something that makes me feel a moment of panic. It's actually a big house in Japan. Yeah. Yuri? If in Tokyo, that's a big house, I guess. Thank goodness. You're a little early. I'm sorry I wasn't home yet. Were you waiting for a long time? No, I just got here, but I started to get really nervous when nobody answered the doorbell. You always could have texted me. If I had known, I would have reassured you and hurried more on my way home. I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that. For some reason, she's nervous. It should be common sense to do that, but I decided to ignore it. Anyway, let's go inside. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you. That's right. And did you manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well? Yeah, pretty much. At least I hope I get everything right. I got everything right. Thank God. I'm sure it'll be fine. I take Yuri to my room. Oh, this is our room. Cool. We have a computer there. Mouse, office chair. I'm gonna go with my chair is cooler. IRL chair. Something hard behind that curtain or whatever you call it, closet. The first thing she does is glance around curiously, which makes me feel anxious. It's so clean. I cleaned it before I came over, so that's very considerate of you to do. No, I would be really embarrassed for my room to be a mess while you were here. Well, I do enjoy cleaning. I would have gladly helped you clean. That would be even more embarrassing. Wait, don't look in there. I snatched Yuri's wrist, which was in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine. I'm sorry. That's where the stash was. I wasn't thinking for some reason. Where are your stashes? Mine is in, well hidden. On my PC, well hidden. I was just spacing out. It's fine. I'll let go of Yuri's wrist. She puts both of her hands firmly in her lap, as if making sure she's keeping track of them. So, shall we get started? Yes. I have a few things planned that you can help me with. Decorations and other atmospheric enhancements. Atmospheric enhancements? Enhancements. You know, mood lighting, aromatherapy candles. Oh, wow. I didn't know you planned on taking it that far. Of course, it's an actual bookstore. I want to help take our guests to a faraway place, like one of those high-end bookstores with those scented candles at the top where, you can feel like it smells like a spa inside or something, one of those good smelling spas. Although many will stop by just out of curiosity and for cupcakes, I guess. I'm determined to provide an experience that will leave them wanting more. That's great. It's easy to forget that you're a pretty intense person. Intense? I guess that's the best way to put it. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. It's something that I like about you, actually. Is that so? That makes me feel relieved. And kind of happy. Yeah, no need to be so anxious. You relax a little. Relax. I brought some things for relaxation. I was going to use them during the poetry event. Oh yeah, like what? Let's see. Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object. I did some shopping on the way here, so I happened to have these in my bag. I plan to cover the windows in black paper and use the candles to light the room. I think that would be amazing, don't you? Yeah, that would be really neat. What's the wooden thing though? I can't imagine it. Oh, this? It's a diffuser for essential oils. Exactly it. She's aiming for the high-class establishment vibe. How familiar are you with aromatherapy? Not familiar at all. Is that so? It's one of my favorite contributions to a positive atmosphere. Depending on the oils or herbs you choose, you can change the mood of the air itself. You can even feel it permeate through your body. Relaxation, positive energy, romance, reflection. It's almost like magic. Yuri takes the cylinder and pushes a switch on the bottom. In just a moment, a thin ray of vapor begins to spout through the small hole on the top. Wow, that smells wonderful. What kind of mood is that one for? This is a jasmine essential oil. It smells a little sweet and flowery, right? Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I chose jasmine for the event because it provides more than relaxation. Jasmine enhances your emotions and helps you feel them flow through your body. You feel warmer and your heart pounds more heavily. Don't you think that would be perfect for sharing our poems? It does sound suitable. But you seem to know a lot about this, so I'll trust your opinion with anything. Yuri smiles gently, clearly enjoying herself. She again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools of thin ribbon. What are those for? I'm getting tired here. We'll probably finish this route, and then I'll probably just end it here. Yeah, it's already been 2 hours and a half. My voice is getting tired, guys. Sorry. Well, did you purchase the origami paper I asked you to get? Yeah, I have it over here. you won't be using the paper for folding origami. What I'd like you to do is write a different word on each paper. We'll need about 100 of them. Oh yeah? What will those be used for? Well, I'm going to cut pieces of ribbon to hang from the doorway of the classroom. Then we can fasten the paper onto the ribbons to create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It will also catch the eye of those passing by the room. It may attract some to peek inside. That's really creative. I had no idea you'd be so good at this, Yuri. Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little intense as you'd put it. Yuri giggles with red cheeks. Is it just me, or is she more relaxed when it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels from sharing something that she enjoys. Here's a marker, Seth. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons. Ah, alright. Sitting on the floor together, the two of us get to work. I carefully draw a different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon to her desired length. Then she reaches into her bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife. Eh? The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's no ordinary pocket knife. It looks really fancy. Huh. Well, embarrassed, Yuri looks away. What is it? You're going to think it's weird. Yuri, whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. To each their own, you know? If you promise you won't be weirded out. Yeah, I promise. Alright, the thing is, I'm kinda into knives. They're just so pretty. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. The combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe? Oh, so she always had a knife with her. Yeah, that's where she got it, when she suddenly stabbed herself in the... Act 2. Oh, what am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. You're laughing at me. No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you got about sharing. It's an interesting thing to be into, I guess. But I think it kind of suits you. Suits me? Yeah, it's kind of intense. Besides, it's a really cool looking knife. I can't deny that. It is, isn't it? Yuri relaxes her expression once again. Would you like to hold it? Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife with the handle facing me. I take it and turn it around in my hands. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where do you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I feel the point of the knife with my index finger. Ow! Seth, why did you do that? I didn't expect it to be that sharp. I barely touched it at all. Why would you do that? It's my fault. I should have warned you. This knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like it's paper. Oh no. A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a closer look. Ha! She stares at it and noticeably fidgets. If you're squeamish, I'll go wash it off now. Ha! Without warning, Yuri puts my finger in her mouth and licks the wound. Oh no, I feel her tongue curl around my finger. Startled, I instinctively pull my hand back. Oh, please forgive me. I wasn't thinking. Yuri lowers her head, her face burning up. Yuri, that's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. How could I do something like that? I'm sorry. Sure, it was a little weird and it took me by surprise, but I guess she was just trying to help, right? Sure. Yuri, I think you're overreacting a little. She doesn't lift her head. What if she doesn't recover from this for the rest of the afternoon? Alright, you know what? This might be a stupid thing to do, but I do it anyway. I take Yuri's hand and lick her index finger in return. Seth, did you really just do that? And now we're even. Yuri just looks at me like I did something wrong. I knew that would be a bad idea. If not for the sweet aroma of the jasmine oil, the air would be extremely heavy right now. You're so weird, Seth. Yuri giggles shyly. Eh? Yuri calling me weird? I have no response to that. Yeah, if someone weird calls you weird, you think is weird and calls you weird, that means you are weird. If you think they're weird but they call you weird, yeah, you just gotta base it on what a third party thinks, because what is normal, differs for both of you. Why do you keep your bandages? I don't think I need one actually. It was a tiny cut. Look, it already stopped bleeding. I see. That's relieving. Her saliva has wound healing powers. Or the platelets were just fast. The tension is quickly lifted. We each resume our respective activities. I watch Yuri's knife cut through that ribbon like it's nothing but air. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the paper. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all out side by side. It looks better than I expected and will be very effective as a door curtain. It looks great. Good thinking coming up with this, Yuri. Ah, thanks. It's just something I saw online, really. Are you ready to move on to the next task? Yeah, let's do it. What do you have in mind? I'd like to create a banner. That's why I asked you to buy the paint tablets. Ah, that's right. One of the items Yuri had asked me to buy was a kit of watercolor paint tablets. We'll need about 6 cups of water to put each of the tablets in. Do you mind fetching those for us? Of course not. 6 cups of water. I'll be right back in a minute. Thank you very much. Oh, and just a little bit of water is okay. If you fill the cups too much, it will be too diluted. Woohoo. Taking Yuri's advice, I decided to use small plastic bathroom cups rather than full-sized glasses. I put them on a plate to catch any paint that drips, then bring it back into my room. Yuri? Yes? I come in to see Yuri quickly unrolling her sleeve, pulling it back over her arm. Nothing. Your face is a little red. Is it too hot in here or anything? No, not at all. There's nothing wrong, so let's mix the paint. Yuri hurriedly dismisses me and takes it upon herself to unwrap the tablets, dropping them into the cups. So, I thought we will do something simple that would look really nice. I'd like to paint a gradient across the banner, starting with the colors for sunrise, then daytime, then sunset, and nighttime. Once it dries, I'll write an inspirational quote across the banner. We can hang it on the wall behind the podium at the front of the classroom. Ah, neat! What are you going to write? Well, it will be more fun to surprise you. Yuri smiles at me. If you say so. After rolling out the banner, Yuri and I kneel on opposite sides so we don't get in the way of each other. Yuri uses a brush and adds a few dots of different colors across the banner to serve as a color guide when we paint. This kind of reminds me of elementary school. Painting on a banner with watercolors feels a lot like the art class projects we had back then. It's relaxing. I'm sorry if this feels too childish. No, I don't mean that at all. It's kind of fun, you know? Yeah, it is fun. I'm glad you feel that way too. Yuri stops painting for a moment, thinking to herself. For me, I don't need to go out and do crazy things to have fun. In fact, I usually don't even want to. I just like when I can spend time with one other person. Even if it's something simple like reading, it doesn't even matter if you don't talk much. Just having a friend next to me makes things feel a little bit nicer. I think that's all it takes for me to be happy. Is that so? Even if Yuri and I are quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel that way about things like anime and games, or simply sharing the experience with someone can make me happy. I think I feel the same way. Yuri smiles gently. I knew you'd understand. Yuri leans over the banner to grab an unused paintbrush. But I move at the same time, causing my head to bump into hers. Oof. Sorry. Yuri reels back and I quickly lift my hands in surprise. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. It just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I should have asked you to get it for me. It's not your fault. Your face. There are droplets of paint on Yuri's face and neck. Is there something on my face? Yeah, I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get a towel right away. I rush out and fetch a small towel, then I dampen it with hot water. I return to my room and kneel back down in front of her. Here. Oh, look at that. Her eye's kind of weird though. I pat down Yuri's face and neck with a towel. Is something wrong? It's hot. I just didn't expect it. Sorry. I didn't want to use cold water. Sorry. Having finished, I started to retract my hand. But Yuri suddenly holds my wrist. Yeah, she's already holding it. Wait. Eh? Just for a little longer. It feels really nice. I keep my hand still against Yuri's neck. She looks into my eyes. It's an intense expression that I recognize from when she reads her books, or being read, almost as if she's lost in a daze, enveloped by her own thoughts. She breathes gently, half through slightly parted lips. What is happening? Is it the aroma of the jasmine all giving me this dizzy feeling? Yuri's gentle fingers wrapped around my wrist send a tingling sensation through my arm. And suddenly, her face seems to be much closer to mine than it was just a moment ago. Ah, Yuri slowly pulls away. Sorry, I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space out. It's fine. The moment is over as soon as it began. Yuri picks up her brush again, but her movements seem clumsier, like she's unable to focus. I remain silent, forced to ignore the event that just transpired. Aww. I hesitantly retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example. That should do it. I finished filling the night sky with white dots that look like stars. Looking at the banner as a whole, it's pretty. It's very pretty and natural looking. I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results. Yeah, me too. Are you going to add the lettering now? Not yet. It needs to dry first. That's true, but won't that take a while? Well, perhaps it will be best to leave it here, then have you bring it in the morning. I can do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Whew! You say that like you're glad it's over. Was I wrong to assume that you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit? No, it's not that. I'm just glad that we managed to get everything done. I see. I am too. I was a little concerned about time. I needed to start making dinner soon. Ah, so you don't have any time left? I was secretly hoping we would have extra time after finishing the work. Well, Yuri thinks to herself, I think it would be too irresponsible of me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be more time as well. It's probably my fault. Sorry for being such a slow worker. No, it's not your fault at all. And the important thing is that we got everything done, right? Yeah. So, I shouldn't be disappointed or anything. Gathering all her things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. It sounded like she rarely gets the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. But that doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Once Yuri packs up, I walk her out the front door. Thank you very much for having me today. No problem, I'm glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow. I will. Well then. Yuri fidgets. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, wait. I kind of say that without thinking. About today. It's fine that we didn't have as much time as we wanted. Because we can do this again. Whenever you want, you can come over or we can go out somewhere. I forgot you don't like going out much. As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so... You're very thoughtful, Seth. Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand. I kind of like that about you. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? But I don't even get a chance to as Yuri suddenly pulls back. Sayori? Eh? Hi, Seth. Sayori. We weren't... It's okay, Seth. I just stopped by to say hi. Well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, but I'm already on my way to leave. Aw, really? That's too bad. I'm sorry. But we'll all be together at the festival tomorrow, so that's fine, right? Of course. Sayori beams. Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. Clearly embarrassed, Yuri hurries off. Sayori waves goodbye after her. Anyway, yeah, we'll end here. This is the moment of Torth. The moment of truth. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. Yeah, I said that I put in the title that I was gonna go through the side stories and get the ending today, but I kinda underestimated the time it would take. So we'll probably get the ending next week, and then we'll try to go through all the side stories. It's gonna take a while, so I'm not sure if we'll even be able to finish it all next week. I mean, there's a lot, right? I mean, let's check it right now. I'm pretty sure we unlocked something. See. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we've unlocked all 6. We even got mail. Side stories. Thank you to everyone who worked so hard on the control simulation. Can't imagine how tedious it must have been to so delicately hide Monica's elevated permissions from her without disrupting her connection to the VM. Just to clarify, all of the recordings labeled as side stories are part of the control simulation, right? I'm noticing some details of the characters' lives here and there that differ a little bit from those in VM1, even trivial ones. Is it part of the butterfly effect from some of Monica's more fundamental changes, or is it a result of her just messing around with the other characters in VM1 as her own experiment or for fun? So if I'm keeping track, we have what, like 5 different universes in total, with 3 or 4 of them created and then destroyed by Monica, of course. It's funny because I keep wanting to speculate on which one is a real universe, but in reality, they all are, as real as ours is anyway. It's adding some lore here. Excuse me. Character discrepancy. Having run the control simulation for a while, it's evident that a certain character is missing from any mention or appearance. This makes me speculate that Monica's meddling is less clumsy than we think, because she would have had to manufacture this character herself, as a way of forcing interaction between her and the user. Could that be why the character has such limited and dissonant personality traits? Or am I reading too much into this? I'll open an issue to start tracking info and observations on the anomaly of this character appearing. Who is this character? Who is this character? There's something. The protagonist's bedroom. Is it the protagonist, the character? For CG, 3 poems for Yuri. If he was a real character. Whoa. So there is something fishy going on. Oh, this was in the Twitter, I think. If you guys go to Monica's during the poem game. Yeah, Monica's Twitter. It's there from what I remember. She posted it herself. Anyway, yeah. I'll be ending the stream here. Thank you all for watching again. I'll see you guys again soon. My next stream I think will be Cosmic Break, but I might randomly stream Apex Legends or Valorant if I based on feeling. It will depend if I feel like it or not. So yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. Goodbye for now. Yeah, goodbye. Okay, let me go to the ending screen.